Pop-Tarts protein, why oh why? Why do we need this?
High protein content.
Protein drinks. Everybody wants protein.
Protein is an essential macronutrient, and macronutrient just means that we need it in large amounts from our diet to help us be healthy.
Joeva Barrow is a professor of molecular nutrition at Cornell.
We can get them from vegetables, we can get them from soy products, and then we consume that protein, our body digests them, and then we take the essential units of the protein, we call them amino acids, and then we use them for a host of biochemical reactions to keep our body healthy and to keep our body well.
In 1918, Lulu Hunt Peters' book, Diet and Health, first popularized the idea of calories in the American diet and the practice of counting those calories as a way to keep healthy and fit. Ever since, Americans have been trying to fill their plates with foods we think are good for us. But that's constantly changing, and today, Americans are eating more meat per capita than ever before. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, U.S. meat consumption has increased by more than 100 pounds per person since 1909. Brian Ernest is lead economist for animal protein at CoBank.
The fastest growing segments in the grocery store when we look at fresh is yogurt, cottage cheese, and eggs. These three things really have kind of a halo effect when it comes to health for the consumer. Each one, I believe, is seeing double-digit sales at the grocery store here in 2025. Specifically things that have stronger protein components to them, but also lend themselves very well to changes in flavor and fit a profile that accepts and adopts flavor profiles very well. Animal protein in general has seen strong growth over the last couple of years. If we look over the last 10 years with the U.S. consumer, chicken consumption has grown by nearly 19 pounds, whereas beef and pork have been relatively steady.
We're seeing very strong demand overall. In fact, our value-added sales this year have been up versus last year, which is great opportunity for us. And that goes well beyond just Thanksgiving turkeys.
One of those sources of animal protein is turkey. And Jay Jandrain is the CEO of Butterball, the largest producer of turkey in the U.S. The iconic American brand has been in business since 1954.
Butterball, when only the best will do.
We know consumers are health conscious right now, and there's a lot of focus on protein. And turkey is naturally a good fit for that. It's low in fat, high in protein, and it's a very economical source of protein as well, particularly during the holiday. When you see product at about $1 per pound, it's an incredible value for the consumer. One of the things that we're seeing particular right now is a category that's real growth for us is our ground turkey business. And some of that is just because more and more consumers are realizing the opportunities to use ground turkey in their everyday meals. But then also, given the incredibly high prices in beef right now, it's a very good advantage for consumers who are looking for a ground meat product to use turkey instead of ground beef.
American consumption of protein from animals and other food sources is up, but so is the use of protein supplements from new companies like David Protein, maker of protein supplement bars. Its co-founder and CEO is Peter Rahal.
In our first year, we'll do $150 million in sales, which I believe is the fastest growing food company. And next year, we're forecasted to $300 million plus.
Before David Protein, Rahal founded RX Bar, which he sold to Kellogg for $600 million in 2017.
Americans, we keep jumping from different diet trends. So first there was Atkins, then there was the paleo diet, then there was Whole30, and then there was keto, fasting, plant-based had a moment. And if you look at the fundamental reason for those trends and what drove them, they're really around body composition changes or weight loss. Every January, everyone feels like they need to get back in shape, and so you're looking for diet as a solution to that. We don't want to be susceptible to those diet trends, and we wanted a position that was factual and around something that is true.
But do we really need all this protein? Barrow says that for most Americans, the quantity of protein itself isn't the problem.
For the average American, we recommend 10 to 35% of your total calories should really come from protein. And so narrowing that down to, let's say, a 2,000 calorie diet, if 10% of that needs to come from protein. That would be 200 calories of my total protein needs should come from protein. And then equating that to grams of protein, that would be about 50 grams of protein for the average American. And so if you want to translate that to what that means in terms of food, if you eat a 6-ounce piece of steak, that's going to give you about 50 grams of protein, which is plenty for your protein needs for the entire day.
What explains the recent interest in protein, and why is consumption on the rise? Rahal says part of the answer is GLP-1s.
For the first time, we actually don't have Americans going to a diet to lose weight. We have Americans going to a drug to lose weight. And so that's changed this whole entire pattern in how Americans are thinking about nutrition.
Roughly 8% of the U.S. population is currently on a GLP-1 weight loss drug like Ozempic or Mounjaro, a share that may grow after President Trump reached a deal with drug makers this week to make their weight loss drugs more affordable. You mentioned drugs. GLP-1s are very much in the news right now. Does that change your protein needs?
So there's still a lot of ongoing research about that. The emerging evidence that we're seeing is that there are some patients that take GLP-1 agonists that experience lean muscle loss, right? Lean mass going down along with the fat loss. And so the need to, let's say, can we compensate that with protein levels? And the rationale for why that happens is still under investigation. But in general, if you are losing lean mass, we do want to replenish that and make sure you're meeting your protein needs.
While they're looking to reduce the caloric intake, they may be looking to increase the protein as a portion of overall caloric intake. So protein has lent itself very well to this, and we're starting to see products on shelf that are marketed towards users of GLP-1, and these are more inclusive of protein in general.
GLP-1s are changing our nutritional needs as a country, and Rahal says that's welcome news for products like David Bar, which is a high-protein, low-calorie option that retails for around $3 a bar.
So the big need we're addressing with our product is to deliver as much protein with the least amount of caloric impact. How do you basically be a vehicle for protein without having a lot of consequences on both sugar and calories?
What is the sugar content?
0 grams of sugar.
And how much protein?
28 grams. I think one of the biggest problems with protein is affordability. If you're having a high protein diet, it's very expensive. Turns out carbohydrates and fats are much less expensive. As other protein options get more expensive, I think it makes our product's position more valuable.
You mentioned steak can be expensive. It's particularly expensive right now. The price of beef is really going up. Do you see that as affecting your marketplace position?
Yeah, I think it helps us because one of the ways we drive consumer surplus is if you just look at what it costs to get 28 grams of protein, in a steak or a salad, it's $20, $30. In our product, it's $3.25. So it's a tremendous value. And then there's no preparation. You can just eat it.
As Americans consume more protein, they look increasingly for ease and convenience.
We're seeing the consumers reaching out for certainly our product and turkey in general, but they're also expanding beyond the whole bird. We're seeing the frozen products that we have to offer. We're seeing bone and breast. So oftentimes we'll find consumers who are buying a whole turkey and they're supplementing it with more and other turkey products for their meal.
The David Bar uses EPG, a proprietary plant-based fat component that has 92% fewer calories than traditional bars, while still delivering a similar texture and flavor.
The people who buy and eat David Bars, what are they eating instead of?
I think they're using it as an addition. So say you have a oatmeal breakfast, it's pretty absent of protein, so you can add David on top of that and get your close to 30 grams of protein in a sitting. So I think we're bridging the gap because it's very difficult to eat, say, 100 grams, 150 grams of protein a day. And so that's the problem I think we're directly solving.
Supplements like a David Bar will get more protein into your body, but is it the best way?
So there's a new exciting emerging concept that's known as nutrient sequencing. So what it is taking our existing well-balanced diet, right? So I'm eating my right amount of carbs, I'm eating my right amount of proteins, I'm eating my correct amount of fats. But Nutrient sequencing simply takes those food items and we change the order in which you consume those foods. We now give you the protein source first, alone, tell you to wait about 10 minutes, and then we give you the carbohydrate source after that. And what we're finding is just by simply changing the order of the food, we're seeing improvements in blood glucose. We're seeing just naturally more secretion of GLP-1 in the body. We're seeing better insulin profiles just by changing the sequence or the order of the food. We prefer natural foods because it's not just only the protein that you're getting all of the other healthy elements in the food that you don't get when it's ultra processed and you don't get if it's just like the supplement source.
And Rahal does not disagree.
If you talk to nutritionists, they'll say the best thing is to eat a truly balanced diet that has all the components that you need. Recognizing a lot of people just can't do that for some of the reasons you described. Are you a second best alternative? I mean, if people could really eat a balanced diet, would they be better off?
I would say yes. Reason being is, so if you have all the time in the world, you should eat 3 balanced meals. And the reason is you get all your macronutrients and your micronutrients. That's just not the reality most people live in.
But as in so much of life, there's the issue of not letting the best become the enemy of the good. Protein is great, especially in a world of GLP-1s. But for some, the good of convenience and affordability may outweigh the best of simply eating 3 well-balanced meals a day.